Hey there, this is K4A Knowledge for All educational videos and tutorials. In this video today we are going to learn how to use GameMaker drag and draw block, which is called Draw Circle. We have learned so far how to draw lines in color, rectangles and squares, and now let's try to draw a circle. I will select the last object which I made in previous video, which is obj draw rectangle, with my left click, then right click and duplicate, then rename it to obj draw circle, and click to open it, click to open events, draw, and delete draw rectangle. Why? Because I want to find draw circle, and here it is, draw ellipse. Sorry, what did I say? Draw circle. Okay, yeah, ellipse, because you can change again the width and height, and instead of drawing the circle, just draw it higher or wider on one of the axes. If you compare draw rectangle and draw ellipse, you can see how both of those are almost the same. Left top, right bottom, fill. So everything which I talked here before in previous video for rectangle works for circle also. The only difference is that here with the circle we in GameMaker first draw some kind of invisible rectangle like we did in previous video, and then in it we define the circle. So like this. So the rectangle is drawn first to define the area in which this circle will exist. It will define how big that circle is. The rectangle lines top and bottom, left and right, define like a limit, and in that limit the circle is created, and it touches those lines like a perfect it's like circumcision, or how you call it, around it. Although you're not going to see rectangle but just the circle, this is, for example, how you can remember how it works for you. Just if you're curious, why do I need left and top and bottom and right? Because I'm drawing the circle, the ellipse. I need just the center of it and how big the radius is. Why didn't they define it that way? Because they define it obviously something like this. Anyway, who cares? Just let's just try to copy the coordinates which we have used in previous video: 50 50, 100 100. Oops. And go to our room, drag and drop our obj draw circle, and hide draw rectangle, and play to see how it looks. Nice. It's not very nice, it looks a little bit edgy, like a pixel, but like a pixel art, but it's good enough for what we need here. Same as with rectangle, if we use fill, it will be filled with color. By default it's white, and same with rectangle. If I change my left and right, I will create ellipse instead of circle, which will be horizontally squeezed. And same if I change my top or bottom coordinates, I will create vertical ellipse, so you can create some kind of egg-like shape or whatever you need. I haven't explained, I think, these relative check boxes, and those work, I think, relatively to where we have positioned our object in our game when we drag and dropped it from our asset browser. So when I go and click on my object in my game scene, it has some X and Y position, and if I check relative here, my left 50 would be left from this position here, top and bottom from this position here, and so on. So it's relative to the position on the object of the screen. And if I uncheck those and I use absolute coordinates, then those coordinates are, as I explained here, used absolutely to the stage, to our screen, not to the object. The object is relative, and this is like absolute. This is the game scene, and we have it 0 here in our top left corner, and it goes 60 pixels in height and 80 in width. That's it for this video. I think yeah, a little bit shorter than previous one. We have learned how to draw a couple of things: lines, circles or ellipses, and rectangles or squares, how to change the color, but all of those are very specific. I think I have talked about it in one of the videos, and I don't use them often for my games. Maybe sometimes for some kind of check or during my game production, but for final I don't remember so much. If you have some ideas where you're going to use this for your game, for your final game, feel free to write that in comments. For example, for a circle, I would use this maybe for some kind of, like we had, for example, tower defense tutorial and template from GameMaker. So those tower defense towers, they have area, the circle radius in which they shoot, how much of radius they cover. So you can, for example, use that for testing purposes to draw the circle around your to put this in code to draw it around your tower, and that way see during the test game, during the test play, how you need to make it bigger in radius or smaller or something like that. Just an idea. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. See you in next one. Bye for now.